All right, here we go. Turn on Mr. Goomba here. Press the BFG to light it up. It's the BFG 9000. Can you see it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know you could like permanently turn it on. I'm going to leave it on for the whole remainder of the playthrough here. You can't see it very well, but time to sniff the ET ride. Oh, you learn something new every day. You can turn that BFG on, leave it on. If I could just press the button just to have it turn on. Yeah, bad day. Trapped in the snow all day. Can't leave my house. Weather warning. Do not travel unless an emergency, which means you can't ride your scooter to Kroger or anything. Trapped like a rat. Woke up. The cat woke me up. It was annoying. Cat, my cat Lobos, my outside cat, he was out there freezing cold, waiting for food. I brought him food. And I thought my other cat Shredder was like going around the house meowing. And I thought he was in pain because he's 19 years old. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was like a cat underneath my crawl space, but I just heard this phantom meow. So it just started off stressed out. I haven't seen my black cat Eloise in a few days. Since the big snow. She could be at my neighbor's house. Or she could have been run over by this guy in a giant truck that has a PA system on his truck. If that's the case, he's getting sugar in his gas tank. You really got to have a small penis to drive around a giant truck and have a PA system on it and honk at a cat and scream the F word at it and run it over. I mean, I don't have a big penis, but it's not small. It's like 6 inches if I'm fat, 7 inches if I'm skinny. That's some girth, but it isn't big. I watch porn. That's not a big penis. It is not small. I don't know what it's like to have a small penis. I guess when it gets cold, it's small. But when it's activated, I'm happy with it. It could always be bigger, but to have like a 4-inch penis or less or something like that, that must really suck. You have to get a giant truck. Because I knew this guy, Evan, he had a real small penis and he had a giant truck. It's really true what they say. If you have a small penis, you get a giant truck. And especially, you get a giant truck with a PA system on it. But, I don't know. Maybe I dreamt this person up. Maybe this person doesn't really exist. I don't know. I remember a guy on a truck, like, stopping in the street on at the end of my street. And, him like saying to the other guy in the car on this PA thing he has. He's like talking. He has like a speaker system that you can hear out of his truck, and I think he was yelling at my cat Eloise, and I haven't seen her since. But she also is friends with my across the street neighbor. She goes inside her house. She won't go inside my house because of my cat Gabby. She's scared of her. Yeah, I usually don't see her when it gets this cold. It is 0 degrees outside, literally, maybe -1. And the snow is piled up to like my knee. It's horrible. It's a horrible snowy day. Snowy. It's not even gonna stop snowing until like next week or something. I don't know. That seemed a little loud. I turned down the volume. It seemed a little loud. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trapped here. Just trapped in this house. So I had to play some games. This is Ernest, Japanese exclusive. Seems kind of like a shitty Castlevania, but I never played it before. That's what I'm looking for, games that I've never played before on this channel. And it's I'm running out. I got plenty on my Batocera, but you watch the last gameplay footage I tried the other day. Another fun day afternoon. Still having issues with the capture card freezing, and my microphone. I was like rubbing it up against it, and it's very sensitive on the computer as compared to on my phone. So every little rustle and stuff like that, it makes noises. So I was very dissatisfied with that recording, especially Fun Day Afternoon, the original, is very popular. It gets several views a day, and it's on a it's unlisted on a playlist. Maybe the same person's watching it over and over again. And if that's the case, you're a person after my own heart, because I do the same thing. I watch the same thing over and over again, especially video game content, my retro life. It's like a comfort thing. So mission accomplished if I created that comfort zone with Fun Day Afternoon for whoever's been watching it. Or I don't know. What are the statistics of that a bunch of people are watching Fun Day Afternoon? I don't know. Somebody likes Fun Day Afternoon. And that's why I was very disappointed at the follow-up to Fun Day Afternoon. Especially at the end, I cut out all the Soccer Kid for why is he sleeping? What the fuck? Simon Belmont never sleeps. I cut out the end of the with Soccer Kid on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't even know Soccer Kid existed on the Game Boy Advance. But I was gonna delete this part at the end because I thought it was a stupid line. It's what Johnny Rotten says at the end of his last concert. Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Good night. But I cut out the whole gameplay of Soccer Kid instead. So next Fun Day Afternoon, I'll definitely include Soccer Kid, either for the Amiga or the Game Boy Advance. So I'll revisit the Game Boy Advance one definitely, and I got to play the Amiga one too. This is the weirdest fucking game I've ever played in my life. It has Castlevania style music. He's like crawling. Oh shit. This game sucks. It's made by Wolf Team. They usually make good stuff. They make good FMV games. Maybe they're meant to make good FMV games. This is Fate Castlevania games. I mean, look at that whip. It's so weird. It's so awkward. Good music though. It is a Sega CD game. Well, Mega CD game. Never released in the United States. I saw on a YouTube video someone had a Sega CDX, the Sega portable CD player, Sega CD combo. It said it's worth $1,000 now. Scott Jackman sold it to Richie Harder, not for $1,000. I can tell you that much. I bet Scott Jackman wishes he held on to that. I bet he wishes he held on to his Virtual Boy as well. I can't wait to get my Virtual Boy. 3 weeks. 3 weeks away till I get my Virtual Boy. And then in March, I'm getting Super Mario Wonder for the Switch too. So excited about that. I've bought a bunch of 3D Blu-rays since I last spoke to the audience. You can get them cheap on eBay. Like I got Spider-Man Homecoming for $3.95. I got Captain America Winter Soldier $6. Avatar $9. Like that's the kind of money that I'm spending on 3D Blu-rays. I'm not like blowing my wad. I'm buying them at bargain basement prices. I mean, there are a few like the Friday the 13th German version that I wasted a bunch of money on. And, Final Destination 5 goes for a lot. And any new 3D Blu-ray that comes out, you have to import from Japan. And with the import fees, it's like the cost of the Switch 2 game, like 70, $80. Like if I want to get Fantastic Four or Wolverine and Deadpool, I got to pay $80 to order it from Japan. I don't think I can do that. I mean, Wolverine and Deadpool was all right. I didn't even see Fantastic Four. Maybe there'll be a new 3D movie that comes out that I just must have. But right now, I'm not. I'm sticking to everything that came out like I don't know 7 years ago is real good prices. Real good prices. I got Suicide Squad for $6.95. Um, lots of good stuff. Lots of really good stuff. Of course, God only knows when it's going to get here. My expensive Friday the 13th 3D Blu-ray was supposed to be here on Saturday. Today's Monday, and it says arriving late in transit to next facility. So, God only knows when those other ones that I just ordered are going to get here. Got both the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies. I mean, I like Megan Fox, so gotta have that. I made good choices. Toy Story 1, $5.95, I think. Star Wars Force Awakens, like a really nice, like 4-disc set with like a steel book and all this shit, $12. I got these really shitty double pack horror movies from the 90s. It's called Grindhouse Presents. I don't know if it's like associated with Eli Roth Grindhouse. I know they released a few things under the Grindhouse moniker. This one might not be Eli Roth though. This might just be a real piece of shit. $5 for 2 movies. No, it's 3D, so it's worth it. Fuck it. I mean, fuck, man. $5. It's like a bean burrito and a half at Taco Bell. But I'm still working on my 3D TV. I'm trying to turn down the settings as much as I can to minimalize the IPS glow, but it's just not going anywhere. It's just I haven't read on the Sony website itself. It's that's the way these TVs are. I didn't do anything to the TV. I like to blame everything on myself. But I didn't do anything to that TV. It was like that almost 10 years ago when I put it in my back room. It's always been like that. And I always blame myself until now. So I'm just glad to have it. It's like new old stock. I've been reading with people who have that TV, and theirs all died by now. So I'm holding on to a rare artifact. And it's still going strong. I'm going to take real good care of it. And you know what? If it breaks, there's a guy in town that fixes TVs. I don't care if he says it's like not an economical decision to fix an old TV like that. Just buy a new TV. I'll say they don't make 3D TVs anymore. So I'm going to get it fixed if I have to. But I know I don't have to take it in and get the IPS glow fixed because it's just, that's the way the TV is. I mean, besides just like a brief second in between like switching apps, 95% of the time, the picture is just absolutely gorgeous. Even on like HD, it looks 4K. Like it looks incredible. But as much as Sony seems like they're like a expensive top of the line brand company, they did take some shortcuts, and some parts of the TV are cheaply made. It's edge lit. I don't know how common edge lit LCD screens were at the time. Maybe they were very common at the time, but now we want full array. We want dimming zones. We want full lit, because the edge lit, you're going to get the IPS glow. I'm sure you don't give a shit what I'm talking about. Time to move on to the next game. Okay, I think I haven't played this game before, but I can't be positive. I haven't played this game before, but got the 32X, so got the full setup of the JVC XI and the 32X, so I got to throw in at least one 32X game. I used to be in a band called John Madden and Electric Condoms. Sort of the house band for Sound Idea. The owner was the drummer. The owner of Sound Idea Distribution Record Store in Brandon, Florida, was a drummer. And we had a song called Whatever Happened to Billy the Bunny. It's about this guy, Billy the Bunny, and he just disappeared one day. Came back and told Bob he got a job mopping up jizz at the porno store. Planet X. That's what it was called. And I ended up being on a record label called Planet X Records. Kind of. I was kind of on it. I've been delisted. But no one wants to be associated with that label anymore. Look it up. It's bad juju. Is that, should I say bad juju? Is that, I don't want to be anti-Semitic. I'm getting all these anti-Semitic things on, about the guy who was murdered by the ICE Nazis in Minneapolis, like of him in a yarmulke and stuff like that. I don't want to be associated with that whatsoever. So I deleted my Instagram and I deleted my Facebook app because all I was getting, none of my friends' posts, it was all like suggested posts. And for some reason, I guess the AI thinks I want to see anti-Semitic bullshit. I hate AI. I hate Instagram. What the fuck are they trying to do with this world? I digress. Whatever happened to Billy the Bunny? Now the song, if I was still at Sound Idea, would be Whatever Happened to Thikimoto, because Thikimoto used to come on this channel all the time, comment and stuff. I haven't heard from him since my birthday video back in September. His channel's been deleted for community guideline strikes. He's no longer on Facebook. Whatever happened to Thikimoto, Nick Benning? I don't know what happened to him. I'm wondering if he's mad at me. I don't know, but I was looking for Thikimoto. There's a Thikimoto archive now on YouTube of old Thikimoto clips. Yeah, I definitely haven't played this game before. And I noticed he was on a TV show called Digital Addictions on A&E. So I watched the episode on Friendly TV where I watched Svengoolie. And Thikimoto is a pretty deep cat. And I hope he's doing all right. I really don't know if I insulted him or if he just is laying low, but yeah, he's a live streamer. It's his passion, and they're trying to get him to stop live streaming. I mean, he was doing some like kind of like Bam Margera type jackass stunts type things. This was filmed in 2022. He seemed like he'd strayed away from that, which was a good maturation of the channel, I think. No need for that kind of stuff. Just stick with your bread and butter, making fun of freaks. And you can make fun of freaks. I say, I think so. I think you can because you're a freak. I mean that in the highest regard. Just like a black person can say the N-word, you can make fun of freaks. And if you got kicked off of YouTube for making fun of freaks, shame on YouTube. That's all I gotta say. I don't know what happened, but what a nightmare to have all your work of all these years and your passion taken down in the blink of an eye. He made money off of that. That's how he's living the dream. Can't take that for granted. I have this channel. It's my passion. It's what I do to stay sane. But I'm not living the dream, hustling, trying to build a following, get subscribers, get followers, get Patreon, get all that kind of stuff to really make it my full time job. Because I'm on disability. So I don't know what it's like to maybe I would be more motivated to do more with it if I wanted it to be my income, but I don't have to worry about that. So I make this garbage ass content that I don't care if anybody watches it or not. Um, all I care about is my own standards of making videos, and if it's not up to my standards, I post it anyway. But anyways, yeah, it was a very I got I mean I've my first remembrance of Nick Benning is him carrying this girl Sarah Keene that we both dated out of the Subhuman show because someone stage dived on top of her because they were dating. So I've known him at least since senior year of high school. And then I saw him again during Burrito Fest when I was 23. And then he found my channel and featured me on his Thikimoto channel. I got more subscribers, and we talk to each other a lot. And now I don't hear from him anymore. I'm worried about him. I saw on the show. I'm sure if he shared this on the my digital addiction. So I'm sure it's okay for me to talk about it here. What's his favorite thing? What's his passion? Live streaming. What traumatic thing did he see? He saw his friend hang himself on a live stream. Can you imagine your like passion in life mixed together with seeing your friend hang himself? That will fuck you up, man. So I'm worried about this guy. When they took his channel down, I, I I really wish you the best. I don't know if you watch my channel anymore, Nick. I don't know if you're mad at me for things I said about streaming or Sarah Keene or anything. Whatever I said, I'm sorry. Um, I would send out a message to you or something like that. But if you don't want to talk to me, I won't bother you. But if you're watching this and and you aren't mad at me for some reason, I'd like to talk to you and see how you're doing. I mean, you've been through some shit. I mean, I've had a lot of people I know commit suicide. I was trying to think of like the whole list. I mean, we got Tony Walter, Andrew Bauer, Jason Ramondo, this girl Amy from Amy's Dance Machine, Richard Bush. Um, a lot of people, died. I know died of drug overdoses. Um, Misadventure. I wonder why I don't have that many friends. Is because most of them are dead. So I mean, but I couldn't imagine like seeing one die on something that is my passion in life. So that fucking that hit me to the core. And you lost your dad right before that video was filmed. That show was filmed. But I think you made the right choice not going to the rehab because I felt exactly what you're talking about. You had to take care of your dog. That's why I'm not in a mental institution right now because I have to give my cat medicine every day, several times a day. No one else can do it. I have to take care of my cat. I would love to take a nice little vacation to a mental institution. I'm sure I need to go, but I can't. I can't get a colonoscopy because of my cat. I can't do a lot of things, and that shows you're a good person. That's your priority is your is your animal, um, and that that's what I hold to my highest regard as well. So we have a lot in common, you know. We really do. We're from the same. We're cut from the same cloth. Um, and I hope you're doing all right if you're watching this. But I watched your episode. I didn't even know that existed. And yeah, from what it looked like from your comments about the episode, it seemed like a stitch up. They made it seem like you were just doing a show about your streaming, your passion, and what you love to do, and they sucker punched you by making it into some kind of intervention when there's no intervention needed. I mean, yeah, you were very enthusiastic at the beginning, but that's how you got your name on the map. You had 300 followers back then. Now I see on Twitch you have 2,000, but also you haven't been on Twitch in 2 weeks. But my message is, get back on your feet, get back on Twitch. YouTube isn't really a streaming platform anyway. You just need Twitch. And YouTube has so many rules. Who knows what arbitrary reason they threw you off? But yeah. Whatever happened to Thikimoto? I turned it up, but now it's too loud. It's hard to. I always have sound problems. Jesus, what is up with the sound problems I have? I mean, this is the kind of game that you want to hear some of the sound of, but you don't want to drown out. I've had videos before. Oh, that ET ride smells so good. I just smell it all day. Just sit here and smell my candles like Jan from The Office. Bonfire, James Bonfire. Yeah, this is kids on site for the Sega CD. I've been wanting to play this. I have tried to play it before, but I never figured out the controls. But I googled what they are before I set this up tonight, and I was like, I'm finally going to play kids on site and and know the controls. Maybe it was this cat Shredder here that was making the meow sounds around the house, because here he is making the meow sounds. He has to know where I am, what I'm doing at all times. I watched a video on it. Why does your cat follow you around? And it's because your cat thinks you're an idiot, and they want to stop you from like doing something stupid. So they gotta keep tabs on you at all times. He's like my bodyguard. He's got to know what's going on at all times. So I think he gets upset when I am not on my chair or my bed, like I am 95% of the day. When I'm not in the bathroom or the kitchen, or every once in a while sitting here on this grandma chair playing CRT TV. But yeah, he's going around the house meowing, so it was probably him. And that was when I first woke up. So, but I'm still worried about my cat Eloise. I swear to God, like if that fucking PA guy, I just heard somebody talking about snitches, and this is an interesting take on it. It was about I think it was Dave Chappelle talking about it. How you snitch if you commit a crime with someone and you sell them out, but it's not snitching if someone commits a crime on you, and you can't do some gangster shit, but you just got to call the cops on him. I'm gonna call the cops on this fucking guy if I don't see my cat after this winter snowstorm, because okay, I still haven't figured out the controls of this game. I guess apparently you move with A and B, and you the button you press to do things is, or you move with A and C, and the button you press to do things is B. So you don't use the control pad at all. So that's how you control this game, if anyone's wondering. I'm sure you all really want to play this game. I actually gave this game to Sean Hirsch for his wedding, so he could play it with his children one day. I don't know what happened. I bought Sean Hirsch a great Sega CD 32X Genesis combo, the Model 2. He had a Model 1 growing up, so I wanted him to have a Model 2, and the Model 2 Sega CD and 32X. And I bought him a shit ton of games for all systems, all the good ones. I haven't got him Time Killers. I found a copy that people thought that didn't run, but from my experience, you can only get Time Killers to work if you plug it into a 32X for some reason. I can't get it to work if I have 2 copies, and they're quote unquote not working either. But if I plug them into the 32X, they work. But I don't know what happened to that Sean Hirsch Sega CD thing. His wedding gift. I don't. He kind of seemed like he thought it was a joke when I gave it to him in the first place. So he says it's in his storage shed. So I got him a Golden Axe shirt when he sent me a shirt once. And pressing A. And he said, I just played Golden Axe the other day. And I said, well, did you play Golden Axe on your wedding Genesis? And he said, oh, no, that's in storage. And I heard that rats got to it, that it doesn't work. Scott Jackman was supposed to get to the bottom of it, but I don't think we'll ever know. And I'll never know why Sean Hirsch won't play Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I told him I'd buy a copy on the Switch 1 so I could play with him, just so I could play with him. And he usually answers my texts, but he hasn't responded to me any of the times I've asked him about Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I know his wife seems very family values. Maybe she doesn't want the kids exposed to it, but that can't be the case because I'm pressing B. Damn it! God damn, this game sucks. Yeah, he has Mortal Kombat 1 for the Switch, the infamously bad version of it. Not Mortal Kombat 1 as in on the Legacy Collection. Mortal Kombat 12 is called Mortal Kombat 1. I know that sounds confusing, but that's what it's called. Mortal Kombat 12 is called Mortal Kombat 1. Will there be another Mortal Kombat now that Netflix owns it? I don't know. I'm trying to press B in the same rhythm that this guy's pressing it as. I'm wondering if my my controller's registering because I was pressing A to move left. Maybe if I press it real fast. Oh, there's like lights at the top of the screen. What the hell? Oh. No wonder Sean Hirsch put this game in his storage. This game sucks. Tried to give this game a chance many, many times. I figured it out. Oh, okay. Now I'm getting it. I wasn't supposed to go there. You can't just like bulldoze through a cement thing. I keep turning. I'll get this. I'll figure this out. This looks like something. Well, it says do not enter. Stop. Better not go there. I might fall off a cliff. That might have been cool to watch that, but yeah, it's such a weird feeling. Growing up in Florida and being literally like stuck in the snow, can't leave my house, can't even go get cat food. Okay, I'm going through this motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Glad I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Because I'd be going out there, I'd be schlepping my ass down the street to the gas station, buy cigarettes for $12 a pack. But I don't smoke anymore, thank God. Oh yeah, I knew that was a good idea to go through here. Now we're going through the city on a bulldozer at a high rate of speed. I knew something fun would happen. Whoa, now I'm in an F1 Formula One car. Or was that just like a daydream of what would happen if I went through that? I'm going through it again. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Julie, he's stressing me. I want to do it again. Some echolalia for you. It's from the film The Toxic Avenger. They run over a boy on a bike and crush his head, but it's actually a watermelon. But a little behind the scenes information. Just go for it. But he goes, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Oh, now I'm on a roller coaster. See, this game's not so bad. You just got to be in the right frame of mind where you can't think of it as a game. You just think of it as an absurdist. I'd say the art form is Dadaist. Is that what it's called? Dadaist. Just absolutely theater of the absurd. Not supposed to make any sense. That's part of the artistic statement of this game. It's not supposed to make sense. Not everything has to make sense. Not every path has to be linear. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, we have a pile of garbage. I think I could definitely bulldoze over that. I couldn't sell this stuff at my last yard sale, but maybe you can help me clean it up. Let's fucking destroy it. This game is very forgiving. I guess it is a children's game. That's a good thing about children's games. They're very forgiving. Or any game on easy mode now that comes out now. So. Let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. See, look at that. Told you, this is theater of the absurd. This is some real high art. This is like, you have to like get a master's degree to understand this kind of art. Let's do it again. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Sean Hurst did not like the new Toxic Avenger movie. I liked it. Oh, I got Pixels on 3D Blu-ray for $6. And that has Peter Dinklage in it. He plays like a video game hero from the 80s. Great movie. Well, not so great, but I like the cast quite a bit. I love one of them. Still, to this day. You know who you are. Alright, I've played Earthworm Jim on the channel before, but have I played Earthworm Jim Special Edition? I don't believe I have. I don't believe I have. So, I know I just played Earthworm Jim on the Sega channel, but this is Earthworm Jim Special Edition for the Sega CD. See, it has a little cartoon strip at the beginning. That's how you know it's a Sega CD. Pardon me. 90s gross out humor. All right, let's do this. All right. Sega CD is loading. It's obviously a Sega CD game. Yeah, I'm running out of games to play, but what the hell? Everybody enjoys a little Earthworm Jim. Just for the animation alone. I mean, who's the guy that owns Shiny Entertainment? I forgot his name, but he made Terminator as well. And all his games are like, you shoot things and you climb things and you get lost. Pretty much the entirety of his catalog. Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. You throw apples on that, but it's still the same thing. You're like climbing on really labyrinth-esque platforms with a projectile, kind of getting lost along the way. It's kind of all he knows. What he does well. He invented an animation style for the 16-bit systems that, beginning with Aladdin, it was something we had never seen before. It looked like a real cartoon. And that's quite an accomplishment. Who cares if the gameplay itself isn't that much to? I mean, it's not my forte. It's not my favorite, but it's just nice to look at. I mean, if I'm making a video, all that matters is how it looks, right? I don't know. I don't know how to make a good video. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do this because I have to. It's some kind of punishment from a past life that this is my it's my lot in life. But you know what? It could be a lot worse because I love doing this. I love it. But don't get me wrong. I'm not a person that plays video games all day long. I promise you that. I watch YouTube all day long. And that's what I'm doing right now is I'm making a YouTube video. So I just incorporate video games into it. I was talking to my friend Pete Watson. He's making guitars right now. He's like making his own guitars. But he says it's not going to turn into like a hobby. It's like a one-off thing. It's like a project. And I said, I've had a lot of things like that. I just like projects. The only thing that's remained consistent in my life throughout my entire life has been video games. That's my lifelong hobby and interest. I guess for the past 20 years at least, it's been 20 years. It's been YouTube. I've had my YouTube channel since 2006. Watching YouTube and everything. When I was a kid, I used to like think about, what if I write to MTV, send them some blank tapes, and they send me everything they ever recorded of Nirvana and stuff like that. I would dream of stuff like that. Like if something came on TV and you didn't tape it, there was a fat chance of seeing that ever again. But now, go on YouTube, you can find anything. And a bunch of garbage like this. I wonder how many videos are on YouTube. I know I have over 1,000. Most of them are just, why would anyone watch that? But people, my most popular videos are the most random things. Right now, my most popular video is me puffing on a nicotine-free vape. Like that's, if I was monetized, I'd be making all my money off of that. For some reason, a review I did of a Saw movie on Richard Halstead's Movie Reviews, consistent views. This is weird as shit. So that's why you should never take your videos down, because you never know which one's going to be a hit. There's no way of predicting that. And there's no way of predicting the YouTube algorithm. I know Mr. Beast likes the things he did, but I don't think he's as popular as he used to be. Maybe they changed the algorithm with AI. AI is changing everything. But yeah, the weirdest shit. I mean, this one I'm proud of gets a lot of views. my Monster Munch reviews, eating the British snack, the pickled onion roast beef and flaming hot, like onion ring type British snack made by Walkers, who is Lay's. For some reason, Lay's is called Walkers in England. Those get consistent views. My most popular video by far, with over 100,000 views, is my sister's cat Resin biting her in the face while we sing Indigo Girls, because he can't stand the Indigo Girls, or he can't stand my sister's voice. Cat hates singer. That's my number one video. Probably number two video is a video of me filming my mom in Target, where I titled it Debbie Mathers, because she has blonde hair, and I just pretended that it's footage of Eminem's mom, because she has blonde hair. But everybody knows it isn't really Debbie Mathers. Even someone wrote, "Stop filming your mom." My mom's very protective of my YouTube channel. This guy commented something on a video I made of my room that I sent to her, and he said, well, because I organized my room and stuff because of my new TV. And he wrote, well, your mom just called. She wants you to do that in your own house. Don't live in her house anymore, or something like that. First she wrote, I'm his mother. He has his own house. And that got posted. And then she wrote something like, his mom's in prison for popping a cap in the ass of some smart ass YouTube commenter or something like that. That did not get approved. There used to be a time where you could say literally anything in the comment sections of YouTube. I remember those days. It was like playing Call of Duty on Xbox 360, just hate speech, I guess you'd call it. But you can't get away with anything on comments anymore. They all get flagged. Content moderation or comment moderation. You can't say a lot of stuff anymore. My mom, usually her comments do not pass through the YouTube gatekeepers. But next game, I was wondering if this game was going to work. It's a European game. On Super Nintendo, when I tried to play the European Soccer Kid, it said it was PAL territory only. But this is an internal retro product, and they don't mess around. They're some cheap cash-in from AliExpress. This is you get what you pay for, quality stuff. And before I knew about cheap cash grabs on AliExpress, I went through Eternal Retro. But once you go cheap AliExpress shit, it's kind of hard to go back, especially when you can buy it with your Cash App Pay It in 4 program. All right. I guess this is another Castlevania, I think, ripoff, I'm pretty sure. It's about Jack the Ripper. Yeah, body completely drained of blood. Dr. Social knew there was something supernatural at the heart of the mystery and began investigating. I'm at the Social. I'm in a fucking bind. That's a Kyle Whalen quote. My sister called up. I remember this game. I don't think I've played it, but I've seen it on the internet before. Yeah, you have a real short knife. We called Kyle Whalen. This was God. We must have been in our early 20s. Me and Kyle Whalen. Stephanie was probably still a teenager. We called Kyle Whalen as a prank call, because that's what you did back then. And my sister just went, "Where are you?" He goes, "I'm at the Social. I'm in a fucking bind." And then she was like, "Where are you?" I was like, "Where are you?" I guess it was a girl talking to us. He's like, "Where are you?" But I guess our friend TJ, my cousin TJ, we're both related to Daniel Boone. He was got him kicked out of the social, which is like I said, like if you want to go see Pennywise play in Orlando, Florida, you go to the social. That's what that was that Kyle Whalen call. I'm at the social. I'm in a fucking bind. Love Kyle Whalen quotes. Who says they're in a bind? I don't think I'd ever heard anybody say that before I heard him say that night. I know what it means now. It means you're in you're in trouble. Not in trouble, you're in a pickle. I guess that would be another word for it. No, pickle means you got two decisions to make, I think, or something like that. In a bind, you just got a troublesome situation going on. I guess that would be in a bind. At the social, I'm in a bind. Kyle Whalen introduced me to Pennywise. I bought him a Pennywise shirt from the Brandon Mall for the 5th grade. And I later, in the 20-year reunion of that, I bought him the same shirt from the Pennywise website. I think he liked it. I don't know if he necessarily wore it. I don't know what his style is nowadays. I think he seems like he wears more of clothes from Bell's. So it's kind of a finer haberdashery. Well, it's not a haberdashery. It's like if, I don't know, J.C. Penney's were in Bloomingdale Square and only sold clothes or something like that. It's kind of nicer clothes, like polo shirts and stuff like that. They used to have a teen section that I would go to at Bell's. I'd buy like Billabong shirts and stuff like that there. But it seems like he probably wears clothes his mom buys him from Bell's now. At one point, he was dressed in FUBU head to toe. But in the 5th grade, he had the skater style. He wore skids shorts. I don't know if you're familiar with those. They're skids. They're like checkered shorts. They're kind of like a grunge shorts. Cool, like alternative fashion. Whalen had quite the style in 5th grade. He had a mullet. Some say he peaked in the 5th grade with the mullet and the Pennywise shirts and the skids. But then in 6th grade, he cut the mullet and had kind of like a butt cut, like a bowl cut, like the Nick Carter haircut. It's kind of like Whalen the sequel in the 6th grade. I remember he was wearing a what was it called? Sea monkeys, amazing sea monkeys, whatever they're called, magical sea monkeys. Those little brine shrimp you grow in a aquarium, feed them. He had a shirt of the sea monkeys. I think he was wearing that day. No, wait, it might have been Animal Crackers, Barnum and Bailey Animal Crackers. I think I had a sea monkey shirt. But he looked cool in it because that was a cool thing back in the 90s. Like how everything now is like wearing 90s stuff, logos and 80s stuff and stuff like that. It was cool to wear 70s stuff that you bought. He bought that. I know he bought that shirt at the same place that we bought the Pennywise shirt. Top this in the Brandon Mall. It was cool to wear 70s nostalgia stuff. We didn't know why. I had a HR Puffin Stuff shirt. I actually had 2 HR Puffin Stuff shirts. One I got it from Top This. One my friend Zach gave to me. Zach Dorn, who was on he was in my last live streaming Mickey Epic Mickey. It was 70s nostalgia for the Gen Xers, like to wear 70s nostalgia. But now as millennials, like to wear 90s and 80s nostalgia. And so does Gen Z as well, because they have nothing to be nostalgic about because they were born after 9/11. So most of them. I think 1999 is the beginning of Gen Z. So they don't remember 9/11. So life, the landscape of the world had already become total oblivion by the time they were consciously aware of their surroundings. So they can only be nostalgic for what we're nostalgic for. But we didn't even have to be nostalgic in the 80s and 90s because everything was cool. I mean, everything was awesome. You were living in the times. The music was good, the cartoons were good, the toys were good, the video games were good. Everything was good back then. That's why everyone's nostalgic for it. Gen X being nostalgic for the 70s, I don't really understand, but they were. I guess nostalgia, is very marketable. But it was a cool thing to wear. I had a Darth Vader shirt with like rings around the collar and the sleeves. Not like ring around the collar like sweat stains. I mean like it had like the shirt was white, but it had like blue rings around the collar and the sleeves, like a 70s style. I believe I ruined that shirt slipping on Scott Jackman's boardwalk in the wetlands behind his house. A nice little boardwalk. It got flooded, but you could walk through the wetlands. That's what I miss the most about Florida. It's not the beach. It's the swamps and the wetlands. That's what I miss. I used to be able to name like every tree in the woods. My science teacher, Mr. Campbell. I'm going to leave a link to Mr. Campbell's storytelling. What a storyteller. But he loved nature. He even worked in the nature store in the Brandon Mall, moonlighting on the weekends because teachers don't get paid very well. He had his own kids and stepkids, but he taught us every nature, cypress knees, sawtooth palmettos. That's just what I can think of. But I used to be able to name every tree, every animal, everything. I could go into the wetlands behind Alpha Elementary and nature's classroom, as we called it. Mr. Campbell would be like, "What's that?" And I'd be like, "Well, let me feel. Okay, that's not a baby palm tree. This has like little saws on the side of the stem. So this is a sawtooth palmetto. Correct. Correct. Great teacher. That's the kind of teacher that would truly enrich minds. I need to find a video of the Excel AGP carnival we had in the parking lot of a bank. Mr. Campbell is in the dunk tank, and he's yelling at me. Pitcher's got a big butt, and I was very self-conscious about my weight in the 5th grade because I was kind of chubby back then. But I can look back and laugh on that. I think I have this thing Paris Hilton has. I think it was called like RSS or something like that, or RSD, rejection severity dysphoria or something like that. It's like basically, I always thought that I was like had a personality disorder and I just couldn't handle criticism. But I feel like people with personality disorders don't really have a lot of empathy, and I'm just gushing with empathy. I'm an empath, maybe a dark empath, but whatever that is. I know they're bad. I saw it on YouTube, but I don't know what they are. But like for instance, the thumbs down person, the person that thumbs downs on my videos. You're slacking off, by the way. You haven't thumbs down in a long time. Give this video a thumbs down. Let me know you're still there. When the slightest little thing can make me feel like totally rejected and I'll either get very angry, very upset, just totally like go off the deep end for the most random shit. And most of the time it's like interpreting something someone said, not even really even something someone said, but I've been like that since I was a kid. Rejection, severity, dysphoria. I go in a state of dysphoria. I think I have that. Thanks, Paris Hilton, for letting me know. I guess it's associated with ADD, and I have been diagnosed with ADD. And I'm not medicated for it. I can't take Adderall or Ritalin or any of that good stuff. Any of the good stuff I can't take. Once I was diagnosed bipolar at 19, my doctor, Dr. Henry M. Storper, said, "You are not taking pure amphetamine anymore. You are now taking Wellbutrin," which instead of like a overflowing dopamine rush hit like you get off of Adderall or Ritalin or Vyvanse or Concerta or something like that. The Wellbutrin regulates the dopamine in your brain, and that's what not being schizo is all about, regulating your dopamine. So my dopamine's pretty regulated. That's probably why something as simple as this, just posting myself talking shit on YouTube, saying things I'm not supposed to say, gives me that dopamine hit I need. I don't need to win an Olympic medal or anything like that. And that was another thing Nick Benning was saying on the Vikimoto was saying on his TV show he was featured on, Mr. Big Time, that he just gets a big dopamine rush off of streaming. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because I get that big dopamine rush off of filming myself playing old video games and jibber jabbering nonsensically for an hour every other day or so. All right, I'm gonna hit this ET one last time. Well, just for sitting here. Sometimes throughout the day I do get a craving for the ET candle and sniff it. It just gives me what I need. Best present Scott Jackham ever bought me. Wonder if he knows that. He bought Tyler a Blockbuster Video candle, which is also an amazing gift. Oh, this is blinking off my camera go crazy, and I even got the frame rate, like Daryl Song said, down to 30 frames per second. Yeah, the sense of smell is the supposedly the most vivid sense in our minds. And I remember what the ET ride smells like, and this is what the ET ride smells like. And apparently, the Blockbuster Video candle smells like popcorn, microwave popcorn, and that's what Blockbuster Video smelled like, because that's how they made extra money. They made almost all their money off of late fees, but they made that extra money on overpriced candy, and like they had a bucket it was like a self-popping popcorn bucket, and it smelled like artificial butter flavor inside a Blockbuster. Blockbuster smelled great. I know every millennial says this, but the feeling of going into Blockbuster after a long week of school with your parents, and we did this every week. Every week we did this. You'd see people you know there. You'd walk around, check out the new releases, check out the pre-owned tapes that were on sales, pre-owned video games, get a video game. It was so great. We were so happy with so little. I saw that on a meme. But it's not even that. It's not about so little. It's not so little because it doesn't exist anymore. No one goes to the store anymore. Especially since COVID, no one even goes. I like to pride myself on going to the grocery store. Actually, I don't have a car, so if I want to make like a click list at Kroger and pick up my groceries at Kroger, I gotta get my mom to drive me. But if I'm on my scooter, I got to go inside a Kroger. Unlike there's not many people that actually even go into stores anymore. I haven't been to Walmart since it's my scooter, my current scooter I have right now. I had one that made it all the way to Walmart. My first scooter could, but I haven't been to Walmart since that scooter. I remember driving it to Walmart, but I used to, when I had a car, I used to love going to Walmart 3 o'clock in the morning. Can't do that anymore either. You got to go there during the day. That's not as fun. But Blockbuster, oh Blockbuster, going into Blockbuster. Usually you get so excited you had to tinkle. That's the first thing you got to do when you get in there. You got to go pee. They had fine restrooms that they kept very clean. And then after you're done going pee, you just kind of, it's like it was like an event. It was like it was a ritual. It was town square, Bloomingdale Square. That was our subdivision's. Um, that was our subdivision's town square, because it wasn't really a town. It was just a bunch of well manicured lawns, gas stations, and strip malls. That's where I grew up. To actually live in a town now, where I can like walk down the street and I'm at City Hall, the sheriff's office, the mayor's office, the university, all within my reach. I mean, my my town I live in, Bloomington, is about the size of my subdivision. I'm from the largest subdivision in Hillsborough County. Um, it's about the same size, so maybe Bloomington's even smaller. Just downtown Bloomington where I live. Um, but I can get to all these different civic areas. They're building a giant convention center that I'll be able to walk to. I'll be able to go to Comic-Con. I'll walk there. I don't know if I'll be dressed up as Wolverine or something like that, but I can dress up as Wolverine at my house and then walk to the convention center soon. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that thing is a monstrosity. It's a mammoth convention center. It's going to bring so many conventions to this town. I'm going to. Oh, it's a dream come true. I guess that's the last Blockbuster feeling you can get, is going to like a nerd convention. I've only been to one convention about 20 years ago, a tattoo convention. But there's something about the energy of being in a large crowd, being lost in a crowd, just wandering around looking at booths and stuff to buy and stuff like that. Pop culture stuff. You get an energy from it. And I don't think I'm a psychic vampire. I don't cause drama on purpose and like feed off of people's fear and emotions and shit like that. I guess you could say I'm a people person, but I'm also an introvert at the same time. And there's nothing more perfect than like getting lost in a crowd of like at like a convention or a amusement park or Blockbuster or anything like that. It's a great feeling. So I'm super excited about this convention center being built. The Monroe County Convention Center. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he knows about everything in town. I saw the convention center being built and I was like, what is this? I was with my mom. I was like, this thing is huge. What the hell is this? What are they building here? Because they're always building like apartments and parking garages and shit. This town is nothing like it was when I first moved here. But yeah, my brother-in-law said that's the convention center, and it's gonna connect to the other convention center through a sky bridge. You can go back and forth between the old convention center and the new convention center. I'm just like, fuck yeah! I can't wait to see what they have in store for that. So hopefully, there won't be a civil war or anything like that. That seemed like AI is trying to push. I really hope there's not a civil war. I really hope there's not. I want to go to that convention center. Maybe I'll get a chance to meet Joe Bob after all. I was going to meet Joe Bob in Indianapolis, and a local mail girl, Honey the mail girl, who lives here in Bloomington. Joe Bob's original mail girl from Joe Bob at the drive-in and Joe Bob Monster Vision was supposed to be there. Got bumped by Darcy. You know, Darcy, you're all right, Darcy, but don't bump Honey the mail girl, okay? Have some respect for the OG mail girl. She's living in this boring ass Bloomington. Oh, it looks like one of my 3D Blu-rays is on the way. That just means they created a label for it. Fellow night owl up in the AM hours printing out labels for 3D Blu-rays. I'm guessing that is my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2 with Bebop and Rocksteady. Or it could be Star Wars Force Awakens. I know that the Star Wars sequels suck. I know. Jar Jar Abrams or whatever. I don't want to say bad things about J.J. Abrams. He's a friend of a friend, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, George Lucas couldn't even make a good Star Wars movie after Star Wars. So, but I do have a fondness for Force Awakens. I think that that's the best one of the lot. I actually liked the last one too because it had the Emperor in it. I did not expect that, but everything else besides the Emperor I didn't like very much. But I can sit down and watch the Force Awakens, especially if it's in 3D. I saw it in 3D in the theater, so God, I can't wait to get my 3D Blu-rays. I just got to stop fucking with my TV, trying to think I can fix the IPS glow, because the IPS glow is just part of the whole LCD 2015 TV experience. IPS screens are good for viewing angles, and you need a good viewing angle for a 3D TV, so you're going to get some IPS glow, okay? And let that be my final lesson of the night. You know, you can have a perfect situation. I got one more credit. You can have a perfect situation. All these 3D Blu-rays, Sony branded active shutter glasses, 55 inches, HDR, 4K, 3D TV. And you can sit there and obsess over the IPS glow for 2 weeks, doing hokey things like applying heat or rubbing it with a microfiber cloth or playing weird psychedelic YouTube videos that are supposed to take away the IPS glow. No, learn from my mistakes. Forget about the IPS glow. And I'm being metaphorical here. Everything in life has an IPS glow, okay? Everything. No matter what you're enjoying in life, nothing's perfect. Everything is going to have some IPS glow. But don't think about the IPS glow. Think about the 4K. Think about the high fidelity. Think about the 3D. Because if you got 3D in this day and age, 2026, when the last 3D TV was made in 2016, and they weren't even making active shutter 3D TVs in 2016. They're only doing passive. And I don't care what people say, active shutter beats passive. I've had both. But if you got an active shutter 3D TV, a little bit of IPS glow just in between changing screens, in between changing apps, you'll notice a little IPS glow. Maybe in the cut scenes of Terminator on the Switch 1. Forget about it. Be happy with what you got. Because nothing's perfect. And yeah, that's the lesson I've learned over these past 2 weeks of backbreaking isolation, obsession, total obsession with the IPS glow. Don't think about the IPS glow. Even my 2023 Vizio QLED has some IPS glow, and it's full black backlit, not edge lit. Dimming zones, full array, quantum dot technology. It still has some blooming and some IPS glow. It's just not on the edges. It's all over. Some IPS glow is seen on the edges. Some of it's all over. There's so much of it you don't even notice it. The Vizios are a piece of shit. And if you really can't deal with the IPS glow, get an OLED, okay? Spend your fortune on an OLED. But you know what? Even though you're not getting IPS glow, you're getting full, you're getting that full contrast of total blackness, total darkness. You're going to get burn in. You can get some screen burn in. And what's worse, IPS glow or burn in? I have to say burn in. So stick with the IPS glow and be happy with it.